Ah. Are we straight now?
I think so, man.
Looks good. Looks good on my end, dude.
Looks good over here.
Right,
What's
cool.
been up, man? Whiskey and wine's been malfunctioning.
It's the fucking Bammers, bro.
You think it's saving?
They're trying to interrupt our party, dog. Bro, look, man. I got my Cubano I'm puffing on. What if it went out?
Bro, your boy Clyde Edwards-Helaire made so much money today.
Oh, bro. You know what's funny, man? I have people up on Twitter bitching about Gary Danielson. Do you realize Gary Danielson just gave Clyde Edwards-Helaire a 4-hour blowjob on air?
Oh my God, dude.
You can complain about Gary. The dude just gave Clyde Edwards-Helaire a 4-hour blowjob on air. So, bro, and the biggest play, the single biggest play that Clydrick made today, brother. 3rd and 10. It is.
Oh my God. On the last drive? He carrying the pile?
No, not on the last drive. No. When it was 33-27, 3rd and 10, they threw him the screen. They threw him the ball in the flat. It was about 7 yards downfield, and Trayvon Diggs had him.
Yep.
And Clyde pushed forward and got the first, bro.
Yep.
And then after that, that's when they went Clyde. Burrow had the draw on 3rd and 5, and then Clyde scored on the run around left end. But at 3rd and 10 was, bro, that was it. Because right there, Bama had got it to 6. You got a 3rd and 10. You give them the ball right back, you ain't stopping shit.
Nope.
They get the ball. They're winning. They're winning the game right there. I mean, that play on that 3rd and 10 was just.
There were a couple of plays today, a couple of play calls. That was a specific play call that I loved. I thought the drive after Bama's last score on 1st down, when they come out and fake the quarterback draw, suck up the defense, chase off. Was that one of the? That was one of the finest play calls at LSU in the last decade. I mean, nobody in the building saw that coming. 2 of the quarterback draws today I thought were beautiful calls. The one at the end of the game where he faked the RPO to Clyde. Everybody bites up. He keeps it on the end around.
Oh, yeah.
Then the straight quarterback draw to pick up a 1st down. I believe it was like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4 in the 4th quarter where he calls the quarterback draw. I mean,
that's the play I just thought. That was after Clyde got the pass.
Yeah.
They went Clyde, and then they had 3rd and 5, and they ran the straight quarterback draw.
Bro.
Beautiful, bro.
I mean, it was.
Thank God my wife has a lot of outdoor shit at our house, bro. I'm rigging up my Citizens Bank sign. Look, I got like this little rolly thing she's got. I don't know what the fuck this is, but guess what? It's gonna hold up the Citizens Bank sign tonight. Is what it's gonna do.
Did you see O crying after the game?
What this? I did, bro. You know, I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
You think this job means anything to that guy, man?
Let me say this before a million people ask. All right, I did Ryan Clark's podcast this week with him. I was a guest on RC's podcast, and we talked a lot about Ed. My feelings about Ed when he was hired and all that shit, and I essentially, and this isn't anything I've talked about on AFR, and it ain't about me. It's about LSU beating Alabama, but I don't know how anybody could ever not be thrilled with the job he's doing at this point. And, bro, I am so proud to say that guy is the LSU head coach. I mean, he's got as much love for my school as I do, bro. I mean, I mean, as an alum who still gives money to LSU, not the athletic department, to the school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have a guy like that in the most important position on campus who just loves LSU the way he does and has led the. I mean, bro, how we have waited 8 years for this, man. God damn it, are you kidding me? Like,
Unbelievable. Cheers, buddy.
to beat
Cheers.
to
Cheers.
beat the. Cheers, my bad.
Cheers.
Here you go.
Cheers.
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 Dude,
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers to everybody out there.
I coughed. Hang on. I'm getting all emotional.
Yeah, let me
fucking cough.
let me piggyback off that thought for O, because when he got the job, I mean, obviously we were very supportive because of the relationship, and I got hammered because I said that he was a Louisiana guy, and a lot of people thought that I meant that. That's why I thought he should have been that he should have had the job. That wasn't the number one piece of criteria I was selling on Orgeron, but I did mean that I did believe that it meant something, and tonight was the biggest example of that. I mean, to see him have swelled up eyes and tears rolling down his face after he won that game. I mean, that is a release for the entire state. I mean, his post-game press conference was nothing but just talking about the state of Louisiana and celebrating this, but making sure they keep focused. I mean, think about what the program accomplished tonight. Think about what LSU football got back to tonight. Think about where they're going after they leave Tuscaloosa tonight. You've now got a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback at LSU. That happened today. LSU just became relevant again nationally. A lot of people will say, well, they've been national. No, I'm talking about a true player within the national scene of college football, up there with Clemson, Alabama, the top heavyweights in the sport now. LSU is now a player again like they were 05, 06, 07, 11 when people were talking about them as the heavyweights. Look at them carrying Burrow off the field.
That's awesome, bro.
Look at that.
Now, I'll tell you what, bro. So someone said, Matt wrong about Coach O, whatever. See, I've dealt with that for 3 years, all that bullshit. And tell you what, my feeling about what happened when it happened at the time was LSU could have and should have gone bigger and didn't need to take the risk they did. But and if you rewind the clock and go back, that don't change. I mean, the reality is what it was. But he's absolutely been self-aware enough. Look, Jordy, look at what just happened tonight, bro. It took Ed Orgeron, even going through the faults in 17 and 18, the Matt Canada bullshit. I mean, do you realize, like, he had to run Jerry Sullivan off, which was one of the things I said was stupid, like, to be able to make way for someone who's young and innovative to come in on staff.
Yeah.
And but you deserve credit for being self-aware and not stubborn. Dude, stubbornness is what got the last guy fired. You know what I mean? And now you're sitting here, bro. LSU just went into Brian Dennehy Stadium and put up, look at this box score here. LSU put up 559 yards of offense and 46 points in Brian Dennehy Stadium. Bro, here's the reality.
The memes that should come out of this game about the shots on Saban when they would just look at him and Saban had that just, what the fuck am I looking at? What are they even doing? I mean, like, they throwing his arms up. They're just, Jesus. I mean, they're just so good. So he had no idea.
The one that got Saban the most was he was going to go for it on 4th and 1. And on 3rd down, it was I think it was Chasson who got the TFL. They were going to go for it they had a 3rd and short. They were going to go for it on 4th and 1, and they lost about 3 yards on the play. And you know what I'm saying? They panned to him at the sideline. That's when he threw his hands up. He goes, well, we got to punt now.
He goes, we got to fucking punt it now.
Got to punt it now.
Yeah.
That was, it was, I'm looking for where that was. Oh, there it was. It was Bama's first drive of the second half.
Yeah.
So Burrow throws the pick. Well, I mean, and let me use that term very loosely. The ball that's tipped out of his hand and they intercept. And then so they got the ball right there around midfield, and they got 3rd and 1. Chasson gets a tackle for loss. By the way, Kayvon
Yes.
Chasson today
Yes.
finally
Yeah.
looked like the fucking
Freak.
stud we all thought he was and could be against what everybody said is the best offensive line LSU's faced, except maybe like Texas early in the season, who had a really good offensive line. And Samuel Cosme from Texas stonewalled him.
Yeah, he did.
And
He did.
But tonight, Kayvon Chasson, if pro scouts put on the tape tonight, he made him. Clyde and Chasson are the guys that made the most money. And Rashard Lawrence. But Rashard Lawrence tipped 2 balls at the line of scrimmage that were
The second one would have been a touchdown.
Bro, do you realize what happened the next play after the first one? Tua fumbled.
Yeah.
Without him tipping the ball on the first possession, they score on that play, and Tua fumbled on the next down.
Yeah.
Like, bro, Rashard Lawrence was
look,
hey, what game's on right now? I need to turn this on.
They got fireworks happening on the West Bank right now in Harahan. Fireworks in Prairieville. Look at the comments coming in on Whiskey and Wine. We're approaching 800 viewers. We appreciate you being out there. Shout out David Richardson. Shout out Citizens Bank and Trust. Make sure you're liking and sharing this broadcast. Remember, they are look, here's Saban's live postgame.
Fuck him. Give a shit about Nick Saban tonight. I mean, yeah, y'all please hit the share. Let's get this thing rolling, bro. We're gonna get to y'all's comments. Y'all hit up comments. We're gonna get to them, bro.
Clemson NC State is the national game. And Missouri, Georgia is the SEC ESPN game. Let's see. What is on the SEC network? That's probably Kentucky and Tennessee.
Oh, it's Kentucky, Tennessee. Shit, bro.
Cole Kubelik's over there. Yep.
That might be a decent game. I didn't bet on anything this afternoon, bro.
Me either.
I ain't worried about it.
Me either.
Bro, all right, listen, what are people saying, man?
Everybody's elated, bro.
Patrick Kimmery Trump is the good luck charm.
Trump had to go to a sporting event where he knew he'd be cheered.
Hey, look at this. Ron McDaniel, Jordy, Matt, we got 30 people listening at a party.
Nice.
So bro, the number up in the corner, I don't know what it says. I don't care, bro, but how many people got us on there? Oh, hey, that's a great point, dude. I don't know. I think it was Pat. I missed it. He said, how about Thad Moss?
Yes.
Brother, I'll tell you what.
We talked about it at halftime.
Thad Moss today had 6 for 46. He on the season now, Thad Moss on the season has 21 catches for 240. Tight end at LSU has 21 catches. I guarantee you the last time a tight end caught that many balls was D'Angelo Peterson in 2010.
I was going to say Robert Royal.
No, because Richard Dixon had big seasons in 7, 8, and 9, and then D'Angelo Peterson was kind of a receiver playing tight end, and he had a good year. What?
Sean Patrick Mark said, "I'm pretty sure someone just fired a cannon in Gentilly."
Oh man,
that's so great, man. That is so good. I'm telling you. I mean, we could talk about the game, and I want to because there are high points and there's some low points of it. But I mean, all in all, I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. But just the emotion of tonight to finally get to this point and really what it means for the program. I mean, this isn't just some year where you can look back and say, hey, yeah, I mean, LSU beat Bama. I mean, you beat Bama and moved on and scored. I don't know about you, man, but if you were watching the national guys this morning, there's a pretty heavy movement to keep Alabama out of the Final Four if they lost tonight. You know what I mean? Like the heaviest voices in the sport, Herb Street, Reese Davis. I mean, those guys are saying it still scares me because it's a TV show and I know Alabama pulls ratings. But, I mean, if you've got those guys against you, before kickoff and then they go in there and lose like they did,
yeah. Look, man, I'm going to tell you this much, Jordy. And number one, Bama fatigue is a very real thing.
Absolutely.
It's number one. Number two, this is not 2011 because 2011 Bama had to go toe-to-toe at LSU, and they lost a 9-6 overtime game and had an amazing defense. Let me tell you something about that team LSU just beat. That team LSU just beat let a freshman quarterback in Ryan Helinski throw for 327 on them. That team that LSU just beat let the Ole Miss Rebels run for 270 yards on them in Tuscaloosa. Tell you something. That team that LSU just beat, that is a a super talented football team. There's no question. They got a ton of guys that are going to play in the NFL. That team does not deserve another shot.
100%.
Their defense is not what it's – Tua is amazing. Their defense is not what it's been. And if they skate, it's only because of the logo.
Yeah. Which
the jersey.
Bro, you got to take into account.
And it may.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you what I am now. I am the biggest Pac-12 fan in the fucking world. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I am a Oregon fan, and I am a Utah fan because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You need both of them now, because here's what's gonna happen. You need Clemson and Ohio State to win out. Clemson, Ohio State win out. LSU wins out. And then the Pac-12 is the kicker to keeping these fuckers out of there. The Pac-12 is the kicker because if you get a one-loss Oregon and one-loss Utah, that's Drew on the trampoline. Sorry.
Right, that's all good.
You get one-loss Oregon, one-loss Utah.
Sounds like
Pac-12
Gentili.
championship game, bro. Fireworks over here, bro. You get those two in the Pac-12 championship game. That is a 4 versus 5 or 5 versus 6 game, and the winner of that game is in the playoff, and Bama is out. And that's how it should be.
Bro.
Shout out to Citizens Bank and Trust, by the way.
Shout out to David Richardson Builders.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm so fired up for these people, man.
I know, man.
Let's see. Do you want to – let's see. You want to do comments or you want to run through the game? What do you want to do?
Let's do – we can do both. Give me
Sean Luke said Padre Hooch better close every Friday now. I had a Lello on the show yesterday to say a prayer.
I saw that.
Dude, the funniest thing is this morning I wake because I tweeted the prayer last night. I clipped the video and tweeted it. I wake up and I got some jag off on my Twitter who goes, this is hacky radio at its finest. Are you angling for a zany morning DJ gig like FM? And I reply. I go look at his profile. It says his profile literally says, "I'm just here for a chuckle." So I go, this is coming from a guy whose profile literally says, "I'm just here for a chuckle." He goes, "I don't know whether to agree with your very good point or to double down." I was like, "Hey, bro, how about just say go Tigers and have a great day?" Oh, man. How about that? My 9-year-old daughter hasn't seen us win. Last time we did, she was a baby. Yep.
It's amazing, man. I mean, look, that's what one of these things. This is a generational thing. I mean, you think back. I mean, you finally got this monkey off your back from a fan base standpoint. I mean, you're thinking the last time, where were you when LSU beat Alabama? I mean, I know exactly where I was. I mean, Scone, you and I can think about the night that this thing started, sitting side by side in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and now here we are seeing LSU really, kind of win the Heisman Trophy, get a chance to close out the season with an opportunity to get into the playoff and the SEC championship and represent the West. I mean, today was an enormous day for LSU football. I mean, it was the crossover. I mean, it was getting to the other side. I mean, it was getting back to national relevance. It was great. I mean, it was offensively, like Scone said. I mean, what was the final tally of it when you looked at the numbers? Over 500 yards. 559 total yards of offense tonight. Joe Burrow threw for 393. He had a quarterback throw for nearly 400 yards versus the Tide. It was amazing, man. I mean, we can talk.
Say something too. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, just saying, we can break down the game, and I want to because it was a fantastic 46-41 final, bro. I mean, that's a great football game. That's a hell of a football game. I mean, let's definitely talk about it. But just, I mean, the start of the train tonight is about what LSU has accomplished from a football standpoint, program standpoint. Now where they are, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back not at the top of the mountain, but hanging out where it's got cool weather. You know what I mean? Back up here with Clemson and Alabama and the heavyweights. It's good for LSU to be back at the table.
Bro, a lot of people are going to talk about Tua's numbers. He threw for 418 and 4 scores. 85 of that came on that one bullshit play at the end of the game. And, I mean, I ain't taking anything away. Credit to that kid for running out there on a bum ankle, 2 weeks removed or whatever. I mean, seriously, like, tip your cap to that kid. I mean, that's a ballsy thing to do. He's got a future, and he ran out there and and played and limped around and try to will his team back in. And Najee Harris was a stud. I mean, he was
a
awesome
stud.
tonight.
Kind of felt like his coming out party tonight.
I was disappointed in LSU's inability to tackle him in the second half, but my guess is if you listen to an Alabama postgame show tonight, they're probably saying the same thing about Clyde Edwards-Helaire and why they couldn't square him up and get him on the ground. You just saw dude, sometimes I got to remind myself of this, dude, because I say this a lot. Sometimes the other guy is allowed to make plays too. And
I mean,
and they got a lot of guys. I'll tell you what,
that
man.
play. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say Jerry Jeudy dropped a touchdown pass.
Two of them. He dropped a long one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The long one. I was thinking the long one. You're right about that one over the middle, but they still scored on that drive.
They did. They scored the next play to him. He caught the pass.
Right.
But I mean, like Patrick Queen's play on Najee Harris, you can't play better defense than that. Najee Harris made the better play. You know, I mean,
on the touchdown reception, you're right.
On the touchdown out of the backfield, I mean, Queen is in great position, flips his head. Najee kind of mossed him. He kind of just picks it off of his. I mean, he kind of just picks it off of his head. But and look, Randall Corns makes a great point, and we didn't bring it up at halftime, and we got to bring it up now. Our boy Cade York, the stones on our boy, the rookie. Thank you. Shout out Randall Corns for bringing that up because Cade York, the nuts on that guy tonight, 41 and 45 yarder.
Bro, I tweeted it after his second make, and we've given him shit, and it's justified, bro. You know, and they dude, tell you what though, yes, absolutely. Cade York gave them, and look at the final, Jordy. Look at the final.
Yep. 2 field goals. 46-41.
Wait, hang on, what, babe? What you want to do?
What up, be right.
Just go. I'll stand close to it. Go ahead. You're blocked. Go. She don't want to be on camera, so I'm just gonna block the camera real quick. No, she don't want to be on the camera. So I'm just gonna block it real quick. Yeah.
Somebody's got to have some humility in that family.
What you talking about, bro? All right, there. Dude, special teams in the first half were dog shit.
Yep. And that's back-to-back performances for McMahon's crew.
No doubt, bro. You allowed a punt return for a touchdown. You missed another PAT, except for Avery Atkins on the first kickoff didn't get it through the end zone. Yep. I mean, except for Cade York's 2 field goals, which were massive. I mean, those are scoring plays, so obviously it's super significant. But except for those 2, you were dog shit on special teams again today, bro.
You were.
I mean, that's – oh, damn, she moved my sign. Yeah, I mean, Rock, come on now. Come on, girl. You gotta respect the branding here. Come on, man. It's all she knows better.
By the way, Jim Ferguson said something about some more giveaways on some ice chests. So our boy,
come on, Jim.
He's always. I'd imagine that he's in a great mood right now with the rest of the state of Louisiana.
Shout out to Jim Ferguson, Citizens Bank and Trust, great business bankers, 6 locations in the Baton Rouge area. They also got ATMs over there at like Perkins Row, by the movie theater. If you want a business loan, they're the Mid-City Beer Garden. They did the business loan for Mid-City Beer Garden. Awesome company, man. Y'all check out Citizens Bank and Trust. Like them in this post. And y'all support the people that support us, man. They allow us to do this foolishness here and smoke cigars and drink and be stupid and curse and everything. So
shout out to David Richardson. Where y'all going? What y'all doing?
Hey, did LSU win because I wore my Davies Disciple shirt?
Bro, busting out the 2001 Classic. Are you kidding me?
With Rohan in the stadium, bro.
Is Roe there?
First time he's gone to Bama since he played. He was in the stadium today. Dude, Buddy sent me a great pic of Burrow and Rowe this morning. I mean, I got to check. Dude, check this out, bro. Do you know how – bro, you saw me at halftime, bro. I wish y'all could have been watching this game with me. I mean,
bro, you were classic at halftime. Aaron was like, "Is he gonna be able to go?" I mean, he looked like he was probably gonna need a nap. I mean,
I was good, bro. I don't know if I said a word in that second half, but that third quarter mellowed me out in a big way, bro.
Yes, it did.
I was hyped and thinking, and you know what it was, man? And they came right out. LSU comes right out to start the second half, and Burrow hits. They give it to Clyde twice, gets the first down. Clyde gets another first. They put back-to-back first downs to go into Bama territory, and they ruled that as a fumble, by the way, not an interception. So that didn't go as a pick against Burrow, which I'm glad. But just for his stats, because people
Yeah,
that sort of
absolutely.
shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For sure.
But right there, bro, if you had gotten points there and gone up 40-13, I mean,
Oof.
that shit's over.
Yeah,
It's over.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
crushed their soul.
But bro, that does show you the back of the shirt. We all had nicknames. Look how juvenile we were. Can you see mine?
Yeah, I mean, I can see. Tell me what it is, because I'm looking at a little bit of a delay.
You're delayed. I was O-Face. You remember the movie Office Space?
Absolutely,
Did you ever see that movie?
Absolutely.
You know what?
The guy.
I'm about the picture.
You mean to show you my O-Face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about showing my O-Face.
Yeah.
And
the guy. He's at the barbecue. What's his name of the barbecue?
Yeah. That's how juvenile we were. But good times. But
well, it kind of plays today.
So, dude, somebody said like Orgeron. I was like, do I need to break my shirt out again?
I mean,
like, do I get to start wearing this again?
Show me your O-Face should become a saying now within the Tiger fan base.
Dude, bro, let's print the shirts.
I mean, show me your O-Face.
Let's print the shirts, bro. Let's print the shirts.
Show me your O-Face.
So good, bro. Oh, man. Oh, Christ. Oh, Christ in heaven, bro. I cannot, I mean, dude,
where were you for the game of the century?
I watched it with my dad at his house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Just a low key day at my dad, my mom, just watching at their house. So, and that was awesome, man. That was that was a nerve-wracking game where it felt like every yard mattered, and this was so different, man. It was such a different experience watching this game here tonight, bro. But it just didn't surprise me at all, though, Jordy, that LSU moved the ball the way they did. And I thought, look, man, I tweeted this at the end of the game when Bama converted that 3rd and 19 to Judy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To Ruggs.
Yeah, across the
middle. When they converted after Clyde scored on that play to the left, and it was 39-27, LSU, Lawrence got the sack. Then they had a drop. Smith had a drop. And then it was 3rd and 19, and they hit Ruggs. And I tweeted this out, bro. LSU today gave up a 3rd and 13, 2 3rd and 10s, and a 3rd and 19.
Yep.
I mean, I loved the plan that LSU had today from the onset, which was go get pressure. I loved it. I mean, I thought they harassed Tua, forced him into some throws, and probably that's a reason he wasn't as accurate because LSU affected him. They affected Tua. But in 3rd and long situations, they played coverage, and if you give those receivers space, I mean, they're too good. Like they're gonna beat you. I mean, Bama was only 6 of LSU was 8 of 15. Bama was 6 of 15 on 3rd down. That's not a great percentage. I mean, that's about average. But the fact that 4 of them were 3rd and 10 or more is like, I mean, how different the game could have been. Yeah, man. I mean,
they were killers.
Were you nervous when Bama scored to make it
6?
When they scored,
or make it 13?
When they got to 33-27 at the start of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, I was.
Harris looked like he was taking over.
But,
I was like, God damn. I was like,
Najee did look like he was taking over. But I told the room, I said, look, if he is who we think he is, talking about Burrow, he produces in this quarter. This is the 12 minutes that he's been waiting on. And, bro, every time you needed him to make a play and he had to get those 2 drives, that's why, to me, Chase Young could be eligible tonight. He could have 5 sacks, and he could turn the game upside down against Maryland. It don't fucking matter. 9's the best player in the country in purple and gold. What else do you need to see from him? How many more moments does he have to have for you to finally say, this is the cat, this is the guy, this is the dude, man?
Go Go beat the dog piss out of Ole Miss.
Oh,
Go
stay
beat the dog piss
healthy.
out of beat Arkansas, which is a maybe the worst team in the history of the SEC.
Terrible, bro. Jerry Jones'
And
grandson is playing
and
quarterback for them.
oh,
I mean, has there
dude, it
ever
was
been
brutal
more of a
today.
booster fucking? I mean, like a
Yeah,
booster, yeah,
brutal.
booster favor. I mean, good lord, all this stuff about Stingley too. Let look, forget. Stop on Stingley. The first quarter touchdown against Devontae Smith, Stingley's looking at the sideline from a coach's changing the play on him. The second half, I mean, like the whole game, he's going head to head with one of the best wide receivers in college football. I mean, he's going
So
to win some, he's going to lose some.
dude, I don't at all intend for this to be a name drop, but I was texting with RC, with Ryan Clark, and obviously he's known Stingley since he was a kid, and he texted me when Smith hit the deep ball on Stingley, and he goes, he's like they finally got one. They finally got one on him,
Yeah.
Meaning a go route. But Stingley was looking at the sideline. So was Chasson on that play. Like half the defense was looking at the sideline when Smith got behind him. But I thought Stingley made some plays tonight. They avoided him a good bit as well. But man, what's maddening, honestly, is the fact that the big play that Smith had on Stingley in the second half,
Yeah.
it was the fourth and 4. When they converted the 4th and 4, they threw it to Smith over the middle, and he beat Stingley on the play. And RC texted me, goes, well, actually, I said, hey man, they got some dudes, man. I said, Bama just got dudes, they do.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that the kid that just converted that 4th down grew up 30 minutes from LSU.
Devontae Smith?
Yep.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
And I was like,
he was the best wide receiver in red today.
I was like, do you realize that's going to change now?
Oh man.
That's going to change.
Any Louisiana kid watching that has any potential of playing major college football and doesn't want to represent your state when the head coach is crying on the field talking about the people of Louisiana and what it means to the football program and the state, like, bro, go to Bama. Go to Bama. You don't want to be on the other
Right.
side tonight. I can tell you, Christian Harris and Dylan Moses, it ain't cool in that locker room tonight. They thought it was going to be a lot cooler when they made their decision to go to Alabama, and they were going to play LSU because that's what Saban sold him on.
Right.
Look at my record.
Right.
I beat them the last 8 years. You're going to be on the winning side. And then they get over there, and in Moses' money year and in Christian Harris's freshman year, LSU walks into Tuscaloosa and beats them in a shootout. Like,
I know, bro.
Fellas, you'd rather
Awesome.
be in the hometown's locker room.
Bro, Russ Mitchell is watching. he keeps going, Matt, answer my Russ, I can't answer my phone. I'm live on Facebook on my phone. That's why I put it on airplane mode so nobody can call or text me and interrupt the show. Come on, bro.
Yeah, man. What did he say? Did he say that LSU was going to win or lose?
No, he picked Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay out of here, Russ. Later, bro. Go chill in Tuscaloosa, man.
Go
hop in on their Postgame show, Russ. Get out of here, bro. See ya.
Dude, Russ is an LSU guy, bro. He's an LSU guy, man.
That picks Bama?
Hey, bro, I picked Bama 5 years in a row. I mean, or 4 years. I picked LSU today. I picked them 31-28, bro. I finally picked them today. So, back on board. I said I was never going to pick them again until they beat them, but I just felt like LSU's offense was going to be able to score against Bama. And a hobbled Tua. But man, I didn't think at halftime we'd have the type of game we did. It didn't surprise me that it was tight at the end, and it also didn't surprise me that Joe Burrow went and made the plays, bro. Fucking stud, dude. Fucking stud.
Burrow. Build a statue, dude. Build a statue. I mean.
Oh, they will.
Yeah, absolutely they will.
T-Bob asked me that on pregame today because we did a segment. We do a segment on pregame now called "That's What He Said," and we play some soundbite from the week, and and then we just kind of discuss it. And we did the Orgeron talking about Burrow being a top 5 recruit, and I got a little long-winded talking about it, man, and my point was I very, just long story short, I hate hyperbole, and I think sports
Sure.
talk is filled with
Absolutely.
hyperbole. It's the greatest this, it's the worst that, it's the top 5 this. I'm like, LSU's been playing football for 126 years. If you're going to say anything is greatest this, top 5 that, whatever, like my skin crawls, because it's just
Well, tomorrow
contextually,
it could be overdone. It could be outdone.
I mean, but not only that, but just you have 126 years of history. So many times we're just prisoners of the moment. And my point with this was, though, I absolutely agree with Ed. I do agree, because if I'm looking at someone who is as someone who just fundamentally changed the program, and Joe Burrow and now look, it's not to say that nobody else could have, but in context with the time, right? In a window in college football when the game is becoming more offensive, and LSU needed that guy who was a ballsy dude to usher in this era and just nut up and lead this program. Joe Burrow has done it flawlessly, and he's going to win a Heisman Trophy. And T-Bob said, if he does, should they build him a statue? I said, yes, tomorrow. Like,
Yeah,
this is
100%.
he is, he's like, what about Glenn Dorsey? I was like, I think Glenn is LSU's defensive version of Billy Cannon. He's the most decorated defensive player in LSU history, and his 72 should already be recognized along with Cannon, Casanova, and Stovall. But I wouldn't build him a statue. I'd build Joe Burrow a statue when he wins a Heisman, because
100%.
he has transcended the program, and he has done something in this moment, in this era, that is going to be a fundamental shift in LSU football, which is quarterbacks, receivers. Do you know here's a good sort of tie. What Orgeron said this week about and I think Detillier said it too. There were no quarterbacks going to Southern Cal. And then Carson Palmer went there, won the Heisman, and then look what followed.
Yeah.
Matt Leinart, Matt Castle, John David Booty, Mark Sanchez. You end up with all these first-round picks at quarterback. Quarterbacks started to want to go there. Well, guess what's going to happen in LSU now? How did Eason and Fromm and Fields and all these guys want to start going to Georgia? Well, you get one, and then everybody wants to follow. Burrow is that guy for LSU. He's going to be the guy. And now every 5-star quarterback is going to go, fuck, I want to go play for them. I get to throw to Marshall and Chase and Jefferson.
I got my money tonight, right now, on De'Aaron King, the starting quarterback at LSU in the season opener in 2020. Like,
I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Are you kidding? Would you take him? He fits perfectly.
In a heartbeat.
He's a seamless transition. He's the best transfer quarterback on the market. Absolutely, he's paying attention. You put Joe Brady into his home on Tuesday morning. I mean, like, come on, man. Nobody is off limits at this point if you're LSU offensively. The best quarterback in the country, the best wide receivers in the country. I mean, Scone, people close to the program say that Justin Jefferson are telling people there he's going pro because he doesn't know if he can beat Raheem Jarrett out, the incoming freshman. I mean,
hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you what. But real talk though, Jordy. Real talk. Justin Jefferson is a guy who off the radar I shouldn't say off the radar, but on a team filled with guys that are freak show athletes at receiver, has shown he's an NFL guy.
Always the leading receiver, always gets the most catches, always the guy that's the most open. He has that Josh Reed quality to him. Scone, on a field where there's filled with athletes, the cat's standing around nothing but green grass.
Dude, he almost dropped that too. He was so wide open on that third down.
He was too open.
I was like,
too open.
I was like, oh, bro, don't drop that ball.
It's like,
if someone had been there to pop him, he's dropping it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was able to bobble it because nobody was near him. It's crazy, man.
What are y'all doing?
Anyway. Ooh, God dog it, sorry. Let's see, Stephen Robert, John Lund, Mark Bayard, John Michael Giles. Oh, dude, there you go, man. Hey, look. Hey, this is actually a really good point. You said Russ kick rocks. Russ Mitchell is actually a Heisman Trophy voter. Like, he's got a Heisman vote.
Well, I mean, like, Russ, there's only one vote. I mean, like, who are you going to vote for? Who's not voting for Burrow? Like, sell me on how you're not voting for Burrow.
Let me tell you something about Russ, and I'm gonna say this now because I'm drinking. In his office, Russ, I'm gonna out you here, bro. In his office, he has a signed Y.A. Tittle jersey, and he bought the 330 sign from the old Alec Box when I auctioned it off. It is on the wall in his office, and he has willed that to my son Drew.
So he's a diehard.
Bro, he went to LSU in the late 80s. Yeah. I mean, I say I'm outing him because last year on my show he came in studio and he wore an LSU jersey, so I'm outing him with this.
I'm rewatching the game right now. What a fucking game!
I love it. I love it, bro.
Hey! Y'all chill. Y'all chill. Y'all go outside if y'all gonna do
that. Someone said, Matt, you should be ashamed to light your cigar with a lighter instead of a match. Hey, bro, I ain't fancy. I don't give a shit. Keep your matches.
Bro.
I don't care. I'm
completely indifferent.
Come on, bro.
We ain't bougie on whiskey and wine now.
I say that as I'm hanging out on my back patio with my 50-inch TV and my space heater. Hey, bougie. The trampoline my kid was just oh well. Well, I knew I had to be loud. I had to smoke a cigar, so I was coming outside tonight. I got this TV on too. Maybe I'll start doing this outside every week.
The play calling tonight. Look at the play calling. Look at LSU.
Look at Russ. Russ said, I've been drinking for 10 hours. Hey, Mike Hutches, I've got my wife listening to y'all. I love it. Philip Smith, what are you drinking, Scone? I am drinking, hey, bro, special occasions, man. I busted open my Thomas H. Handy.
Bro, this
is a B-Tac.
I got that Stag's Leap. Cheers to you, Scone.
Cheers, bro. Cheers. Oh, you know what?
People were asking me about John Emery. You know, let me tell you where you can find John Emery, and this is easy to find. If you recorded a DVR copy of the Florida game of John Emery on the TV copy in the third quarter, he comes in. They call a screen route for him. They call a screen pass for him. He stays in and blocks and nearly gets Burrow killed from the backside. And Burrow, number 9, the guy, the man, looks at the sideline and he makes the gesture. He does this. And you can read his lips too on the TV copy. He says, "Get him the fuck out of here." But he does the point at Emery and the swipe to the left. Get this guy the hell out of here. And since then, you have not seen number 4 take another rep on LSU's offense. And we've said that all along, man. If you don't buy into what 9 is selling and you can't protect him, you're not in there reading, you can't play. You can't play. I mean, there's not a spot for you.
I am so sick of people asking me about John Emery.
It's unbelievable.
He may in time.
It's unbelievable.
He may in time be a very good player. He ain't ready yet. I mean, and you know what they put? Bro, they put Ty Davis Price in there, and I was surprised. I'll tell you why.
Me too.
When they put him in was. No, bro, Ty Davis Price has been really good this year.
I know he has, but it had the Texas game feel to it where you just want to play it safe and ride 22 because you know you can count on him. You know what I mean?
Here it was. They put him in third quarter. LSU went fumble, punt, and then they put in Ty Davis Price. And they gave him the ball like 3 times and couldn't advance it. And it was like, and at that point too, they brought him back later.
I couldn't believe that the linebacker took him down in the open field on the screen route on the second down.
Yeah,
when he
was surprised too.
I couldn't believe that one guy took him down like that.
I screamed on it. I said, as soon as he caught the ball, I said, make him miss.
Yes, had to make him miss.
Instead, he went right after him.
Yeah, he just swiped his legs.
And he went down, bro. I'm like, bro. Clyde was awesome.
That's some high school stuff.
Clyde was spectacular, dude. I mean, let's see. Philip Smith, outstanding drinks in guys. Yes, indeed. Russ, I can't put you on my speaker. I am on my phone is it. The video that you're seeing is my phone. It is occupied. I can't bring you in this way.
Caden, close that door.
I'm sorry. Let's see. Does Trey Talamo, does Bama have a chance of making a playoff?
I mean,
We talked
dude,
about that when we started, but let's reset that because a lot of people just joined us. I'm sure y'all hit the share, by the way. If you're just joining, please, y'all, I'm begging you. Jordy's going to put up the don't be a square, like and share. Please hit the share button tonight. This is massive. Obviously, LSU beats Bama for the first time in 8 years. Shout out to David Richardson, Citizens Bank. They're tagged in this post. Please like their pages. Please hit the share. Please hit the share. So, hey, all right, reset Bama.
it's a television show, which scares me. That's what scares me. But I think that if you listen to the national shows, everybody that has a voice in college football, whether it's Herb Street, Reese Davis, anybody on that national platform believes that this was Bama's chance to get themselves in the playoff. If they didn't win today, it was going to be tough for them to backdoor in at the end of it by not going to the SEC championship. I want to believe that. I hope that's really true. I do believe at the end that it is a television show and that they have to sell ratings, they have to sell advertisement, and that Bama brings that. But, I mean, like Stone said, you are now the biggest Pac-12 fans in the state of Louisiana. Everybody's pulling for Oregon and Utah. I mean, we need that Pac-12 championship where it's a top 5 matchup and you can put one of those guys into the playoff. If that happens, then, all is well. I mean, you're looking at you're looking at Bama being on the outside looking in. But, I mean, there definitely is scenarios, to me, Scone, where it exists. It's not impossible.
Here's the scenario. If both Oregon and, let's say, Oregon or Utah loses, they still play in the Pac-12 championship, and the 2-loss team wins the Pac-12. So you have a 2-loss Pac-12 champion. Oklahoma, I think, is probably out. Just judging where the committee has them now, I think they're out. I think that's probably your – if LSU goes on and wins out, Ohio State wins out, Clemson wins out, those 3 are in. Bama's path back is that way. But here's my question. Let's say you have a 2-loss Pac-12 champion. Do you consider Bama as the 4, as the best 1-loss, or is it Oklahoma? That becomes your conversation. Is it 1-loss Oklahoma who wins the Big 12?
See, to me, when it came to that, I think the committee would choose Bama because of ratings.
Here's what would have to happen for Oklahoma. Heretofore, they would have to dump truck everybody. If they go out, if they go out, Oklahoma, and just dump truck everybody, they go beat their next 4 opponents. They were off today. No, they weren't. Were they off today? No.
Yeah,
They play Iowa State tonight. If they go, is that on? Is Oklahoma Iowa State on?
Oh, that might be on Fox. Watch your big head, bro. Watch your big head.
That's the game to watch, bro. That's the game. Where's my remote?
There it is. Yep, Iowa State at Oklahoma.
What channel?
Fox.
All right, so now here's what you're cheering for in this one. You want Oklahoma to dump truck everybody and then go on and win the Big 12. And you want Texas, by the way, to keep winning. Do you want the LSU-Texas game? Because here's what would happen. Here's what would happen, Jordy. If Texas wins out, they're in the Big 12 championship game. No, I'm sorry, Baylor won today. That was if Baylor had lost today. Well, you could have Baylor win out and then Baylor's got to play Oklahoma and Texas. Shit.
Is our theories falling apart?
No, I'm just trying to make Oklahoma look as good as possible. You want Oklahoma to be the best-looking 1-loss out there if the Pac-12 champion has 2 losses. I'm trying to think, how do you keep Bama out? You need a 1-loss team to look better than Bama. And it's either the Pac-12 champion as a 1-loss champion or Oklahoma as a 1-loss champion. Those are your 2 best bets to keep Bama out. And you have LSU, undefeated Ohio State, undefeated Clemson. That's your chances right there.
Bro, all I know is that LSU is in.
They've got to beat Georgia and Atlanta.
Yeah. No, I know they do.
And I'll tell you this much: Georgia's got a good defense,
but they can't score with them. They can't score with LSU.
Georgia can't score.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
point. If you could end up in the same game that you just played against Auburn, against
mhm,
Georgia. You could end up in that game where if you fuck around in the red zone, you end up holding your breath late in that ball game. Like that
mhm.
could happen. I don't think it will, but and I think LSU neutral site against Georgia would probably be a 6-point favorite. So, I mean, and I think they'd handle business because I just don't think Georgia could score with them. But I mean, we saw that last year when LSU didn't have an offense. But in this game right here, okay, Oklahoma's up 14. You just here's what you just need Oklahoma. Do you remember the first year of the playoff? Ohio State got in. The committee had TCU in, but TCU and Baylor had played head to head, and Baylor beat TCU. And then they both finish as one-loss teams. But Baylor had the head to head, but the committee didn't want to put Baylor, and they wanted TCU. But you couldn't put TCU in with the same record as Baylor when Baylor won a head-to-head, and they didn't have a conference championship. Remember, that was the one true champion year, and everybody laughed at them. And so what happened was Ohio State played Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game and beat them 59-0. And so the committee said, well, Ohio State's just been so impressive, so they kicked TCU out, put Ohio State in. Ohio State won the championship. That's what have to happen with Oklahoma. If Oklahoma goes throughout November and beats everybody
14-0
50,
Oklahoma up.
I'm looking at it right now. That's what you're cheering for. You want Oklahoma to look impressive, and you want a one-loss Pac-12 champion. If that happens, Bama's out. They're out. Enjoy the Sugar Bowl, bitches.
You know they'll get run out of the Sugar Bowl because they won't care to be there.
They won't care.
I'm just trying to get Burrow versus Ohio State. I love Clyde's spin move. First play of the game, he spun out of that tackle for a first down pickup.
You're
I'm
watching
on
that
it.
shit all over.
I
love
so
it, bro.
into it.
Let's see. Mike Buckland, Ohio State, Clemson went out. LSU runs the table. God dog at that. Philip, what if Minnesota loses close to Ohio State in the championship game? Now, look, Minnesota, the committee's told you what they think about Minnesota. They're ranked 17th. They haven't beaten anybody. And Minnesota,
Well, they'll make a jump.
they will jump today. But I'll do it. So look at Minnesota's schedule. The West. Minnesota's not going to finish unbeaten. And good on PJ Fleck. You know, nice win. The guy's rowing the boat and all that shit. Good for him.
Right.
But here's their win: South Dakota State, Fresno State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, Illinois, Nebraska, Rutgers, Maryland, and Penn State. Now they got to go to Iowa, home against Northwestern, and then Wisconsin. They could lose both the Iowa and Wisconsin games. And even if they don't, they get to a Big Ten. If they lose one, go to a Big Ten championship. If they lose again, they're a 2-loss team. So I ain't worried about Minnesota. That attrition will happen. I ain't worried about that. You want to talk about this game?
Yeah.
We haven't really talked much about the game.
Let's
delve into this. Jody Foster, what happens if Penn State beats Ohio in the regular season? If Penn State beats Ohio State, well, then you're gonna have a one-loss Big Ten champion. But now you're having the conversation of best one-loss teams, and then you'd go to the Big Ten championship game in Ohio State and Penn State. That tiebreaker would end up being Penn State because they have the head-to-head. But then Michigan could get back in it if they beat Ohio State. But then Penn State beat Michigan, so Penn State would go as a one-loss. But they'd still be in, I think. If Penn State has wins over Michigan and Ohio State and then comes back and wins the Big Ten championship game over Minnesota, then I think they're in. I think Penn State's in.
You know where Burrow was great today, bro? With his feet.
Yeah.
How great was he with his feet today?
Running.
Let me see. I got a box score. 14 for 64.
Look at his not his net. Look at his yards gained. Or is it just his net? Yeah, it's just his net. So let's see. So you got to look at sack yards, right?
Yeah,
so
he was sacked 5 times today, wasn't he?
He was sacked. He was 5 times. Jesus Christ.
That's 10 sacks for Bama in the last 2 matchups.
5 sacks, 6 tackles for loss, 7 quarterback hurries. Jesus Christ.
I mean, they got after his ass, man. They got after his ass.
Bro.
And that was even more of the most impressive part about his feet was the design runs may have picked up 64, but his ability to keep the play alive by just a couple of slide steps and opening up the field by, letting people run by him or stepping up in the pocket or stepping over. I mean, his athleticism is so underrated. I mean, we never talk about his athleticism, how good of an athlete he is. He showed that off today, I thought.
Yeah. Someone said, is Auburn going to give Bama all they want? No. I don't think Auburn can move the football. Auburn's defense is good, but Bama's offense. Look, I mean, Bama's offense is going to move just like they did against LSU. Someone else asked if A&M is going to give LSU a scare. Brother, I don't know. Thank you.
Give me a break.
Do you know after last year – go ahead.
No, bro, LSU is back. LSU is back. I mean, they're not this. Is LSU hiding plays? Are they not showing things against these opponents? Does Texas A&M scare you? Fuck no. I'll play anybody, anywhere with this coaching staff and this group of talent, with this the ability to game plan. Jimbo Fisher's gotten lazy in the sense of where he's not the coach he was, man. I mean, Jimbo Fisher's Texas A&M in 2020, 2019 doesn't scare me compared to Ed Orgeron's LSU football team in 2019. I mean, today, this year, the recruiting, where they are, LSU is now a national player once again. I mean, it is so real. And I understand, like, you have to you got to go compete in the conference. And yes, Texas A&M is going to be a game that, but Texas A&M is now, and this year to me is a game you show up, you're ready to play, you follow the game plan, you win by 3 touchdowns. You're just that much better. You know what I mean?
Do you remember the 2011 Arkansas game?
Yes, absolutely. Tyrann Matthews punt return, Russell Shepard screen in the middle of the field. Defensively, Matthew had another strip. He had another one of those strip where he turned the ball over.
Right at the end of the game, too.
Yep.
Arkansas got up 14-0 in that game. They had a defensive score, play out in the flat. I think it was Michael Ford who got popped, fumbled. They scooped it, scored. They were up 14-0 in a blink. And then Matthew had the punt return, and then it was an avalanche. It ended up like 49-17, some shit like that. The A&M game this year in Baton Rouge will be similar to that. I'm not saying the 14 at the beginning, but that's going to be an avalanche. After what happened last year, this LSU coaching staff was so incensed by what happened a year ago in College Station that's if you had to like circle one game in the off season that they were fuming about, it wasn't Bama, it was A&M. LSU will annihilate Texas A&M.
I agree.
They will.
I agree, Scone.
I have no doubt in my mind that LSU is going to. And I'm going to tell you the other thing about this coaching staff. And I know I've said it before, but it bears mentioning again because I'm sure we haven't gotten to watch every comment, so we apologize for that. But some people are going to ask, well, do you have a letdown next week? Coming off the euphoria of this. Like, did Ed Orgeron in the postgame on CBS said, we got Ole Miss next week? And, like, I mean, he's already thinking that. Like, the thing that he deserves the most credit for, like, literally the thing he's done the best, obviously, is willing to tinker to change the offense and get the fuck out of the way. But if that's 1, 2, not even 1B, 2, because that's so important. 2 is his ability to compartmentalize game by game, and you don't ever see LSU lull. One of the biggest problems. How many times did we say this in years past? Was LSU plays down to the level of its competition.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
They lose to Bama, and they crater. Or you have a bullshit non-conference team in, and
it's the first time in the Ed Orgeron era where I have ever felt even a hint like Les Miles, and that was the delay a game on the 3rd down.
Yeah,
you have become. They're so well coached. They are so well coached, and the Auburn game was such an anomaly. I mean, they were averaging 5 penalties per game going into the Auburn game. They had 5 in the first quarter. against Auburn.
Yeah.
So that was such
It was their worst
it was such an outlier from that standpoint of what you were watching. Today, when they got that delay of game in that instance, it was like, what did you just don't see that with that. They are so well coached, and it's now become that they're so well coached that we overlook how well coached they are. You know what I mean? Like you take things for granted, like the ability of just how they're playing.
One quick clarification. The delay of game was not on third down. The delay of game was on fourth down.
Fourth down, my bad.
They were going
fourth and
for it.
one,
On,
fourth
they
and
were,
five.
bro, they were no,
Yep,
no.
fourth and one, fourth and
That's and that was and that was at a point where, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. That was, I'm looking for where that was. Shit.
It was early. It was early.
Do you remember? Here it was.
Second quarter.
Second quarter.
Yep.
No, and dude, this Jordy, this is why that's, oh fuck. Okay, this is, in my opinion. All right, we'll talk about the game. This, in my opinion, is where the game changed. Okay, so LSU's up 10-0, right? They get the punt return. It's 10-7. LSU gets the ball back. They score. That was Marshall's touchdown, where nobody was near Marshall. I mean, that happened so long ago, it's like we forget it. But do you remember, like, they had it was 3rd and 2. They threw it to Marshall downfield, and nobody was with Marshall and Moss were both open.
Yeah.
Remember the play?
Yeah.
Okay, so LSU scores. They miss the fucking extra point. It's 16-7. Bama gets the ball. They drive to midfield. Slade Bolden has the Wildcat carry.
Yep.
LSU stops him.
Yep.
You got the ball at midfield.
Yep.
Okay? You got the ball at midfield right now. And that's when they brought in Ty Davis-Price. That's when I was like, what the fuck are you doing? That was the sequence in the game where I'm like, oh, my God. This is where you can wrestle away control. You stop them on 4th down. You're at midfield. You've got all the momentum. They're silent. You put in Ty Davis-Price. You go actually, on 1st down, they threw it to Moss, and he fumbled. Remember that? Moss fumbled, but recovered
it. Yeah.
And then they went 2nd down, Ty Davis-Price stuff. 3rd and 1, Ty Davis-Price stuff. 4th and 1, delay. Now you got a punt. They get the ball back, and that's when Smith caught the long ball on Stingley. And so now it's 16-13. Instead of going down and getting points and going up 3 scores, now they score, and you got a punt. They score, and now you're in a 16-13 ball game, and that's when I'm like, motherfucker. If you get stopped here before half and give them the ball, after you've dominated this half, they're going to go into halftime with the lead. But instead, that's when the game totally flipped. LSU went down, kicked a field goal. Chasson got the stop on 3rd and 3.
Yep.
Forced the 3 and out. You got the ball. Moss has the beautiful catch at the 1. You score. Clyde scores right there. Going over the top, it's 26-13. Queen gets the pick. Clyde scores on the receiving touchdown, and it's 33-13 at half. So, like, we forget about that delay you're talking about, Jordy, and you're absolutely right. But that delay was muted. The importance of it was muted because of the sequence that followed, and give LSU a ton of credit because at that point they put the fucking pedal down and blitzkrieged Bama at the end of the second quarter. But I even wrote in my notes, I don't know if you can see this, I even did this little thing where I put huge right there after the delay because I felt like that sequence was just monumental right there.
Yeah.
Because it felt like
a new age LSU football.
Well, the delay, that's where it felt like, fuck. Like, that's where you had the chance to take over the game, and you didn't do it. But then obviously you did at the end of the second quarter. So, but that's all your point about the delay, which you're right about that. That was a super significant. That was an awful thing and a significant moment that we forget about now because you had 100 more significant moments that followed.
I know the offensive line gave up 5 sacks today, and Austin Deculus, so he'll have a tough time in film room on Monday. But for what they were facing and for what Alabama's game plan was, I thought that there were times where Burrow, he was standing back there by himself. I think the offensive line, for the most part, they'll probably grade out as underwhelming in this game. But and look, that's another beautiful thing about Burrow is that he can hide so many things. that you just may not be good at. He's so fucking good, Matt. I'm not. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. I'm just asking. I'm just saying. Just for what we're watching. What we've been seeing at quarterback for the last 13 years with the New Orleans Saints, and what you're watching this season with Burrow. How spoiled are we? These guys are so good at just playing the position. The simple art of manipulating the pocket and being able to take 2 steps to clear passing lanes and put balls on target, on time. Don't take it for granted out there. I'm not telling you how to watch your football, but when you're watching it, please respect the fact that these quarterbacks, especially what Burrow's doing at the college level right now, man, it's so advanced, and it's so good.
Jeb Whitley, Les Miles has lost control of the LSU offense. It's so good. Cade Wassam's watching, bro. What's up, CV? What's up, CV? Hey, Wazan. Let's see. Philip Burley, screw the other comments. Matt, I'm the truth. Need to pay attention to me. Ring in Russ. Philip, we can't. How many times do I have to tell you assholes? We can't bring Russ Mitchell on to the program. It's a Facebook component where we do the split screen. You can't bring in a third, and I'm on my damn phone. Come on, man. What are y'all doing? You're killing me.
LSU would hang 100 on Oklahoma's defense.
Hey, Justin LaGrange said, who's worse, Vern or Gary?
I still cannot believe that Gary calls him Mzinger. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that he went through another week of preparation where nobody said, Gary, the Auburn game, you're calling him the wrong name again.
Bro, he's got Brad Nessler saying Mzinger too now.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
You got a fucking week of preparation. Man. You got exclusive meetings with this guy. God, does he call him Mzinger to his face?
Hey, Steve Mzinger.
Hey, Coach Mzinger. Great job against Auburn.
Not it. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't look, but I know a lot of y'all have talked about Gary, and people hate when Gary compliments the opposing offense, but what you don't, so he's a quarterback, and what Gary does by nature is he compliments whoever has the ball. Like we said this when we started. He gave Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Joe Burrow a 4-hour blowjob today. I think if you didn't know it, Gary would have been Clyde's agent today. Am I wrong? He was all about.
He said he's an All-SEC back a couple of times.
Yeah, bro. He said, who wouldn't want this guy on their team in the NFL?
Yeah.
He's trying to get him to the draft. He's a junior. You know what I mean? But all you tend to just look. I get it, man. Fans watching games here selectively. You want everything to be pro your team, and anything that's pro the other team you perceive as a slight. I know how fans listen to games, but it's just it ain't that way. But anyway, let's see. If LSU loses to Georgia in the SEC championship, do we not get in? That's from Trey Simmons.
Here's my belief in LSU is that again, like I said, it's a television show, and LSU's must-watch television at this point with Burrow, man.
Hey, bro, I'm going to tell you something. Right now. If LSU loses the SEC championship game, they're not getting in the playoff.
Yeah.
Playoffs been around since 2014, bro. You have never had a team lose the conference championship.
Yeah, you're right.
And get in. And everyone last year said the same shit about Georgia. And I get it. Georgia had lost at LSU, then lost the SEC championship game. So they were a 2-loss team. I get it. And it would theoretically be different because LSU would be a 1-loss team. But it would be but now you'd have to hope for all of the opposite of what we're talking about. You would want the Pac-12 to have a 2-loss champion. You want Oklahoma to lose again. You want Ohio State and the whole Big Ten thing to be a muddled mess to where they have a champion with a loss or two, to where it makes it much more ambiguous. And people can say, well, look at what LSU did all year. They went 2 Bama and 1. They went 2 Texas and 1. They beat Florida. They beat Auburn. Like, what are we talking about? They got it. Look at what they've done. That's what the conversation would have to be. But if you're talking about undefeated Clemson, undefeated Ohio State, SEC champion Georgia, those three would be in. And now you're talking about, I think the more likely scenario would be you'd have a one-loss Pac-12 champion that would have just won a game, a top 5 game, Oregon or Utah, if that's a top 5 matchup in the Pac-12 championship game, that would be your 4th team. And the loser of the SEC championship game, even if that's LSU, would be out.
Fucking A, man. If they lose,
So you better go win it.
If this team gets left out of the playoff for losing the SEC championship, I mean, my goodness, my God. I mean, this team needs to be playing.
I got good news for you, bro. I got good news for you. They're not going to lose the SEC championship.
Thank you, Matthew. My fault.
The only
sometimes
the
I
only
get caught
team,
in the past.
Bro, the only team that could have beaten them on their schedule, or potentially on their schedule, was the team they played tonight.
Yeah.
And
they went in there and hung fucking 500 yards of total offense on them.
So you can get kind of like antsy because of what happened against Auburn, but let me remind you, LSU put up 508 yards of offense against the best defense they faced all year. What happened in that game was they kicked a field goal inside the 5. They got stuffed on 4th and goal from the 1. Burrow threw a pick at the 1. Like, you had your own wide receiver knock away what would have been a touchdown pass to the other wide receiver. LSU played its worst game of the season against Auburn and still put up 500 yards and won the game. Like, they're not losing. You play your worst game of the year once, and they've already done that. And I'm not going to say that they're definitely going to beat Clemson or beat Ohio State in a playoff. I mean, I think those would be amazing games. But I think LSU will be favored in any of them. I think the team that could give them the best game is Ohio State, and I would love to see
100%.
Joe Burrow against Ohio State.
I
would love to see,
and so would he,
that game in New Orleans for the national championship.
Lord.
Do you want to talk about a 4-hour football orgasm?
Yeah.
It's Joe Burrow leading LSU against Ohio State
for
the national championship in New Orleans.
While he's got a Heisman in his back pocket. He's already got the Heisman. He's already got the Heisman wrapped up.
Yep.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, that is football Camelot. That is Camelot.
You and I, if that happens, Jordy, you and I on that Monday, we're doing whiskey and wine from walking down Bourbon Street.
Oh my God!
Now if they lose, I'm just gonna pack it up and go home.
Just like we did last time,
bro.
But Scone, we will be front row.
I couldn't get out there quick enough.
Oh, dude, I want to say I was home at 11. Fuck that night though. If they go back to the Natty and play Ohio State, and Burrow and the boys beat the Buckeyes, your boys, you and I, are going to be fucking sloshed walking through the French Quarter and going to be the coolest guys there, even if we ain't. Who cares?
Bro.
I mean, I believe we are.
I
believe we are, and I don't give a damn what you say.
This is what I know. If I'm hanging out with you, I'm with the coolest guy in the play. I know that because, like, everybody knows, like, when you're around, it's just, you know, you got that aura. So we'd get in anywhere because it's you. Oh, by the way, I got to talk to you about the
Shaq.
Yes.
I was waiting on confirmation on that. Doesn't sound good. This tone does not.
No.
Sound
Yes.
Good.
Oh.
Okay.
No. It's confirmed.
Okay.
It's confirmed. It's been confirmed.
What about him breaking out the diesel to narrate the hype video this week?
I feel so bad for Ryan Clark, bro.
I know.
Ryan Clark's hype.
I saw Shaq,
video,
I was like, oh God.
It's RC's is the best one yet. The We Come In last year was the best one yet. I mean, and they got fucking skunked.
They did.
29-0.
It was a great video.
They're never inviting him back.
They're
never inviting him back. By the way,
video.
the guy who does all the hype videos is Will Stout, who is a Cali High grad.
Cali High. Boy, Scone, of all the Cali Highs that y'all produced, 22 in purple and gold tonight might be the MVP.
Hey, man,
this is the one everybody's
really
talking about.
Hey, man, let me tell you what, bro. I wish 5 had gotten to play in this offense, man. He's because Darius is a better back than Clyde.
He is. He is.
And Clyde's special. But so is Darius. But Darius, for context, bro, the best physical specimen LSU's ever had at running back is Leonard Fournette. And Darius Geis in 2016 made people forget about Leonard Fournette's ankle injury.
He did.
You know, I mean, he did.
I
wish he had played on better teams, bro.
When Geis is right, man, his junior year highlight film at Catholic High is tough to beat. Jeremy Hill's another one.
Michael Sutherland, Scone, you need more light, but fucking LSU beat fucking Bama. I'm outside, bro. I don't
Look
care
at my
if you
man
think I need
Patrick
more
Kerr.
light.
What up, Patty Kerr?
What you got? Orion Dozar, Jason Sheffield,
Aaron Fontaine.
Marissa Arvey. How about the ladies in here? Tyler Fontenot.
Yes. Kendrick Talbot. What's up, man? Kenny Davis.
What's up, Kendrick? Jonathan Geispart. Let's see. Let's try to get some of these people, man. Let's give some people some love to our people who are watching. Y'all, please hit the share. If you've not done so yet, please hit the share. Also, like the Citizens Bank page, like the David Richardson page. They're tagged in this post. Without our sponsors, we don't do whiskey and wine, just candidly. So if you need to build a home, holler at David Richardson. If you're a business owner, you need a business loan, look at Citizens Bank and Trust. Call our guy Jim Ferguson. Awesome people. We love these people, man. They're great people, great local businesses. We're thrilled to talk about them. So like their page, and please, if you know anybody who's in need of their services, holler at our boys, man. Let's see. All right, let's get to it. Mark Bayard, Justin LaGrange, John Capone. Auburn game was one shitty wet field. They gained lots of receiver routes on a dry field. That's a 40-point game. I agree. Well, I don't know if it's a dry field. I just think LSU had opportunity to fuck it up. But
Jamar Chase made a lot of money today.
Do you know what? I had one moment in this game. I had one moment. There was one time in this game where I thought, fuck, they might lose. One moment.
Let me guess.
I'll tell you what.
Let me guess. So it's obviously something to do with Jamar Chase because the Jamar Chase name triggered your moment.
Yep, got it.
So fourth quarter drop.
Mm-mm.
What was it?
Oklahoma scored. Oh, shit, man. Iowa State had scored. It was 14-7, right? 21-7. All right. LSU starts the second half. They have the fumble, right? The Burrow, tip, fumble, whatever. Interception. They rule it as a fumble. LSU forces 3 and out. Get the ball back. That was Chasson's great play on the third one.
Yep.
LSU gets the ball back. They got the 4th and 1. They punt. And that's when they try to draw him offside. By the way, I'm so glad he punted there. Because remember,
me too.
We're
me too.
Dude, we're still in that moment where.
And I thought Gary gave excellent analysis right there, where there's a chance of there's a thought of being aggressive and there's a thought of being reckless.
Bingo.
And that would have been reckless.
And crazy ass Matt Moscona from halftime,
no doubt,
was saying let's hang 60.
No doubt.
And that's a moment
Choke
on 4th
out.
and 1 where That's a moment on 4th and 1 where if you don't get it there, you give them the ball in a short field, and all of a sudden you've let them back in the ballgame. So I'm very good with Ed trying to draw them off and then punting.
I agree.
That was the right call.
I agree.
Well, Bama and you remember what happened? LSU punts and Waddle.
Yeah, fair catches at the 4.
At the fucking 4.
What an idiot.
Or the 5.
Yeah.
Well, you remember what happened after that?
Did they go down? Is that when Najee Harris took over?
They went 95 yards right up our asshole. Yeah. They converted. First play, Najee went 31 yards. They had the personal foul on 70 for grabbing Chasson's face mask. They had a 1st and 25. They ran a screen to Najee, and he got 24 yards. Then they got a first down. That's when Judy had the big drop down the field. He dropped the fucking touchdown.
Yeah.
But 3rd and 10, Ruggs converted. Then they converted a 3rd and 3, and then Harris scored, and all of a sudden it's 33-20. They just went 95 yards up our ass, and we went interception, punt. We get the ball back. We got a 3rd and 5, and Burrow is pressured, and he got crushed on the play.
Yeah.
He got crushed by one of the defensive linemen.
58.
But
Barmore.
Yes. Thank you. That was him.
Yeah.
Barmore crushes Burrow, but he got the ball off before Barmore hit him.
Yeah.
And he had Jamar Chase open on the right sideline, and he overthrew him.
Yeah.
And that was the one moment of the game where I went.
It was. Yeah, and Chase was pissed. Yeah.
Chase was open.
Yeah.
And that would have been your answer. So now you punt, and we went from the euphoria of 33-13 at half to fumble, punt,
right back in the game.
Punt.
Yep.
And they had gone 95 and scored. Now you got to give them the ball, and they went down and scored, made it 33-27. And that's when I was like, fuck. I was like, y'all thought, if you thought you were just going to chill and win this game 33-16, whatever. Who's getting undressed over there, bro? Family show.
I mean, my kid has friends over here. They're just running around in their underwear. What are y'all doing?
Wrestling, bro. WrestleMania.
Cops and robbers.
So that was the one you jarred at my memory talking about Chase, bro. But that was my one time where I went, fuck.
Yeah.
That's where I thought they might. That's the one moment I thought they might lose. But then LSU got the ball back, bro. And then this was here's the drive they answered with. You ready? They went first down, 3rd and 3. They hit Justin Jefferson for the big gainer. First down.
Yep.
Incomplete. 3rd and 10 hit Clyde. That's when they hit Clyde on the sideline for the little where he was 3rd and 10. He was on Diggs.
Is that the fingertip catch where he spins out of it?
Yes. Took it off of his feet, and then juked 7 out of his ass.
Unreal.
And ran
and carries 3 guys 3 yards for a first down.
Yes. That was the play. If you go back and look at one moment in the game where that was the turn. That's a 6-point game. Clyde gets the first down, and then from there they went Clyde. They ran the draw with Burrow on 3rd and 5, the design draw. He gets down inside the 5, and then they give the ball to Clyde around left end. He scores on first down, and now it's 39-27. And from that point,
LSU they went score for score.
It was score for score. You're right. So it went. LSU scored. Bama scored. No. Yeah. Bama scored. LSU scored. Then Bama threw the deep ball to Smith. Yep. I mean, who scored? Wait, fuck. Who scored on the? Who scored on the 8th? It was Devontae, right? On the 85-yard? Yeah, on the 85-yard, yeah.
And I thought that was a great recovery on Justin Jefferson on the onside. Because that was a perfect execution of an onside kick from Bama's standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean,
fuck, dude.
That's 2 weeks in a row that you've recovered key onside kicks. 2 games in a row. 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
Thank God for Derek Dillon against Auburn, bro.
Hell yeah. I mean, those are 2 moments that you look back on in 2 good games that you fought and won that were monumental.
Nyquilla's Dillwad. Fair catch at the 4 with a jabroni.
But that felt like Xavier Carter. Those guys, hey, look, let me tell you, LSU, Alabama, their wide receivers like the numbers I saw kind of shook out. Devontae went for over 230. Jamar Chase had he had his big day.
Dude, let's roll through some. Dude, let's roll through some fucking stats. I gotta hear.
I got them right here.
I'm looking at it. Go.
Okay, I got LSU's. Okay, first off, the quarterback play that you watched today. Burrow was 31 of 39 for 393 for 3 touchdowns. No interceptions. Like Scone said, they ruled out with a fumble on the outside. He averaged 10 yards a throw. Tua was 21 of 40 for 418.
10 per attempt?
10 per attempt.
10 per
yes.
Oh,
10.1 yards average per attempt. Check out Tua. 21 of 40 for 418, 4 touchdowns to 1 interception, 10.5 yards per attempt for Tua.
Jesus. So just for context, like not you, but for everyone watching, like understand that's not per completion, that's per attempt.
Right.
If you're in the 7-yard per attempt range, you're a fucking baller. Like that's basically every time you throw it. Not every time you complete it. Every time you throw it, you're getting a first down.
Amazing.
That's it. Now Tua's. dude, Tua's is completely skewed because of two plays. He had a 64-yard touchdown and an 85-yard touchdown.
Yep.
And those plays happen, and give him credit and all that shit. But fuck, man, that's 150 yards on two throws. I mean, fuck that guy. He really threw for about 250 in this game, like consistently. Fine.
Clyde's day is the one, man. 20 carries for Edwards-Helaire today for 103 and 3 scores. He had 9 catches for 77 and 1 score. He averaged 8.5 yards per catch per catch. He averaged 5.2 yards per carry today on the road in Tuscaloosa. I'm telling you, I know Burrow won the Heisman today, Matt. I know that he secured that victory for that award. But to me, Clyde is the MVP of the game. I mean,
hey, Jay, do you remember how many yards LSU – I said this in the pregame, so I know it offhand. Do you know how many yards LSU ran for against Alabama last year in Baton Rouge?
Was it -7?
No. It was 12. LSU a year – the difference in a year, LSU ran for 12 yards last year against Alabama. 12. Today you had a back go over. Is Jeremy Hill the last back LSU had that went over 100 yards against Bama?
Was that 2012?
In 2012? Has to be. In the 2017, the Matt Canada game, LSU ran for 150 in that game, but I don't think they had a back. Like, I don't think Geis went over 100 in that game.
No. I mean, Darrell Williams, he had the most productive game against Bama from a running back standpoint.
Right.
After Darrell, did he go for 101?
They threw Darrell Williams at middle screen in that game. Remember, and he gained like 50 yards on it. I think that was the biggest play.
Well, and he ran that Wildcat. Keeper to the one.
You're right. Let me see if he had 100 that day. 17 against Bama. I'm pulling it up. Here we go. 24-10. How about Ed throwing all kind of shade at Danny Etling this week?
I loved it. now we finally got the guy to make the play.
Darrell had 7 for 83. Geis had 19 for 71. Gage had 6 for 26. Hashtag jet sweeps.
Wow. I mean, tonight was the best plan they had since then.
Fuck. Also the best quarterback. You kidding me?
Yeah,
Let's see.
No doubt.
Charlie Gale, how about Jefferson? Oh, damn, this is going too fast. Armand Santani, how long will LSU keep Aranda and Brady? You want to handle that one? Aranda and Brady? By the way, I know we talked about the LSU allowed a 3rd and 13, 2 3rd and 10s, and a 3rd and 19 tonight, but I thought Dave Aranda against that offense, which
100%.
Still you got a
100%.
top 5 pick at quarterback
100%.
and 3 first-round receivers
100%.
and a first-round draft pick at running back
and a running back
stud
that worked
offensive
himself.
line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
They LSU to hold them. Dave Aranda had the right plan against them. You're going to look and go, "Fuck, he allowed 41 points," but it's a different world. And the name of the game today was stops, and you got stops. Not late. Nobody got stops late. Same as Texas, but yeah. Dave Aranda I thought was awesome tonight. What do you think, Aranda and Brady? You go first.
They earn their paycheck. I mean, everybody's been talking about Aranda and the money that he's making. I thought tonight that Aranda, you know what I loved about LSU all in all, but I think Aranda kind of was really kind of the poster of this, was just how cool they were tonight. Never did LSU ever seem anxious? Never did they ever seem like they were kind of out of whack, like they were pressing. Everybody seemed cool when they showed Aranda and his shots, and I know that's always his demeanor, but I thought tonight, especially so when, there were opportunities to maybe press and play a little faster than you needed to, that he handled it. And Joe Brady, man, look, Brady will never leave LSU for another coordinator or lower tier head coach job that can't afford him. I have great sources in the fact that LSU and Joe Burrow have a handshake agreement of a 4-year, $1.8 million deal on the table that's been agreed upon to have him as a co-offensive coordinator next year, or maybe even the full OC. But there's no way that Joe Brady will get away from LSU for another school. That will never happen.
Hey, man, how you got all them sources with LSU football, bro?
I mean, ESPN
Who
Baton
could that
Rouge,
be?
it's a powerful brand.
Jesus Christ. No, so I think we probably had that question every week in some form or fashion, but it makes sense. Bro, LSU ain't gonna let Joe Brady get away for money
No way.
or a title. Make him co-OC, pay him $1 million, whatever you got to do. He's making $4. I think Brady's making $4 this $440
$400,000?
something like that.
Yeah.
4. So like that,
No,
they'll never let him get away from money.
No agent 2 weeks ago for our boy, Joe Brady.
Shit.
How about that? Yeah, how many agents are beating down the door for that guy?
What's 4% of, right?
Yeah, right. Everything right now.
Everybody's starting to do the math. Rachel Granger, Burrow won the Heisman. Clyde won the game.
Yeah.
Clyde was awesome tonight.
Yeah, he was.
Let's see. People still talking about Stingley, bro. Seeing a lot of these people getting on Stingley.
That's fine. Go ahead. He'll redeem himself. He'll be out of your criticism in a way. I mean, you're still talking about a true freshman in Tuscaloosa today. Watch the film. He was distracted in the first. The coach's sideline got him. Yeah. And Devontae Smith, man, he's one of the best wide receivers in college football. Yeah, I mean, they were going at Stingley, and he won a couple. The play at the end of the game, yeah, you'd like to have that back, but I mean, that's just a guy making that's a top 3 pick in Tua Tagovailoa making a play to a first-round wide receiver over a true freshman quarterback that has held his own through 8 games this season on the number 1 team in the country. Get the fuck out of here with the criticism on Stingley. Did he have a rough day?
I'm with you.
Yeah, but I mean, he'll be back. He'll be all right. He'll be fine. He'll be fine.
I'm with you, and I don't. And the first one, I don't even put on him, bro.
I don't either.
Defense was looking to the sideline, and they had a quick release thing, and Smith got behind him. I ain't worried about that. Let's see. Make it rain. Trivia Carter. Make it rain on Jordy.
That's what the kids are over here throwing Monopoly cash at me.
That's awesome. Let's see. Ryan Marasco, Michael Merritt. What's up? Chris Roy, 41 points, but 7 on punt return, 7 on ridiculous play. Then you know what? For sure, 7 on a punt return, 7 at the end on the 85-yarder. But the flip side of that is they also had the ball inside your 5 on the first possession and fumbled on an impossibly stupid play by the quarterback. Not anything you did. He just dropped the ball. You know what I mean? So some of that is just, hey man, the game plays itself out, and good teams make winning plays, and LSU did. LSU made enough of them, and Bama didn't. So,
what about your boy after Terrace Marshall's touchdown in the second quarter that they show in the crowd that's got his shirt off, that's just going, he's just freaking out.
He'll be co-hosting AFR Friday.
Just raging.
Jeff Whitley, Derek Panamsky for president.
Panamsky.
The binder, bro. My God.
I mean, dude, we're here.
What a charmed life. Your boy puts together a binder, and I'll be damned, LSU's number 1 in the country. They just beat Bama. You're damn right. It's unbelievable. Panamsky.
That's
DP. Oh, Jesus.
Running morning radio 5 years ago.
5 years ago? 5 years ago?
4 years ago.
3 years ago. 3 years ago, he's running morning radio. Well, I guess by this point, Ed had taken over. But
yeah.
3 years and a month ago, he's running morning radio with you, bro.
Amazing.
Darren James, what's up, DJ? Nyquilus says, Sconey with the cigar is killing me. Hey, bro, I busted open my box of Cubans tonight, bro. I had two friends, man. I had my cousin and another buddy, Richard. They were both in foreign territories. About a week ago, both were like, "Hey, man, you want a box of Cubans?" I was like,
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm loaded up for a while. Eric is asking me how much. What time? It's 8:00. How long have we been doing this, Jordy?
A while.
All right.
I don't care. Wait.
Did you get dinner?
I wanted to read one.
Order it. Just do whatever. Well, just come talk to me.
Oh, yeah, Cardell Flott,
just
bro.
order whatever.
What about Cardell Flott today? I thought Flott gave you really good reps.
Bro, Flott played well. The biggest compliment is when just baby, just order something. Call. Okay. So trying to figure out dinner. She was gonna wait or something, but her phone died. Plug it in. Plug in your phone. Well, I mean, problem solving 101.
Bro, don't make me don't make me pick sides between you and E-Rock, because you know who I'm going with. You know who I'm rolling with. You know who I'm rolling with. You know who I'm rolling with.
That's why you're the favorite, bro. You're the favorite.
Yeah, I got to keep my favorite status, so don't put me on a fucking chopping block now.
No, you got it. Let's see. I bet T-Bob is in full Renaissance gear, swashbuckling now. It's so good. Oh my god. All right. Any more? Dude, I just never want this to end. I do need to go eat though. Been going for we got to been more than what time did we start? The game ended at what? What time did the game end?
What time? 6?
Ish. Tell E-Rock to make it an Ichiban night. I don't know if they wait or where we are. Let's see. Go pick up Pluckers. I could eat a gang of Pluckers right now.
Oh my god.
Camille, does Condon Condon gets no credit. What are you talking about?
How was today with Condon?
There's an Instagram video of Coach O saying "fuck Bama."
I hope so.
It's so good. Oh man. Stat and Dubois says we're at 2 hours. Aaron Fontaine, 1 hour and 40 minutes you've been on. Justin LaGrange, Nyquillis, 1 hour 36. Brian Burgess, who would have thought LSU put a 46 against the Gumps?
Just going for a minute there, I was buying into your theory. I thought for sure they were going to hang 60 on them.
Well, I tell you what, man. When LSU came out in the third quarter and got the ball, they ran the ball in 3 straight plays. Burrow ran it on first down. They went Clyde on third down, got a first down. Then Clyde ran it again on second down, it went back-to-back first downs. They went into Bama territory. It was just like boom, boom. They were going again. And it was on third down that Burrow had the fumble. If LSU scores there, and the guy, I don't know who he was throwing to. They never went and diagrammed the route or anything like that. But if LSU scores there, they probably hit 60, dog. I mean,
no doubt.
I mean, and did you hear Jamie Erdahl? They were like, what her conversation with Ed Orgeron said, on a 1 to 10, how aggressive are you going to go? You going to be? He goes 10.5, 10 or 10 plus. 10
I told
plus.
him to keep that down on the accelerator.
It's the same.
Going for the kill, bro. He was going for the kill.
Same thing we talked about at halftime, bro. He was like, there was no shot he was gonna ever let up on that thing, bro.
No way.
No shot.
No way. And you could see it was kind of like holding water in the third quarter for him. You know what I mean? He was trying to press that thing, but I mean, Bama just caught it. They I mean, for a while they were going. I mean, like, weren't you feeling at the end of the first quarter like Crimson Tide are overrated? You know what I mean? Like, the Tigers are here.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the third quarter, I mean, they showed up.
Well, they got a good quarterback, obviously. They were at home. They got tons of skill guys. There's no doubt that. But LSU had an opportunity to make that game like the Clemson game a year ago had they scored to start the third quarter. Had they gone up 40-13 to start the third quarter, I think it could have been one of those types of games. But anyway, all right. Can't wait to see how this impacts recruiting.
I mean, dude, do you know how powerful, Scone, that is tonight? To have all the guys that you're recruiting on Alabama sideline on unofficial or official visits and seeing LSU go into that stadium, win that game, the head coach crying on the sideline after the victory, and LSU's fans, the way that they traveled into Bryant-Denny supporting that crew, the way that Orgeron, who is a top 3 recruiter in college football, to what he got himself to be able to sell tonight is, I mean, bro, That is, this is another monumental step in which we're talking about, in which LSU took today for their program.
Yep.
I mean,
You're right, bro.
you don't just beat Alabama. What you do in beating Alabama is that you now set yourself up as the SEC Western Division representative for the SEC title game, obviously, but you start to get to and change the narrative in recruiting wars. I mean, like Orgeron said in the Florida game, where all those guys were at on their Florida and LSU are recruiting the same people. LSU and Alabama are recruiting the same people. I mean, all those guys are on the sideline tonight. I mean, they've got LSU commits on on Alabama's unofficial. I mean, what do you think that Alabama locker room's like tonight? You know, I mean, you know, like what do you think they're thinking about what that LSU locker room's like and what that plane ride home is right now? I mean, how cool is that plane ride right now going over Mississippi from Alabama with LSU over, you know, like flying over the SEC as they know that they're sitting in the catbird seat. Those cats want to be on the plane, not in the losing locker room. I mean, that's what happened tonight, man. That's how big this game was. I mean, it was a program changing win. It was a status changing win within college football. I mean, it was a major night for It was a major night for the program.
Because this is finally today was a game changer. You're right in that it was a status define. That's a good way to put it. It was a status defining win in college football because everyone's been wondering who's going to step up and challenge Bama in the West. Everyone knew Georgia was there in the East and is one of those teams that is sort of elevated, right, talent-wise, and was sort of perennially going to be there. And could anybody rise up and challenge Bama in the West? And here you go, bro. If LSU does what we all think they're going to do, which is win the SEC, get in the playoff, and hopefully win a championship, in New Orleans. Now you've got a completely different conversation heretofore in college football because the way this allows LSU to continue to recruit at this level and maintain this conversation, and maybe chop Saban down at the knees, bro. You know, maybe I don't want to overspeak. You know, one night. I'm not telling you Alabama's going away, but
no doubt.
It certainly feels like, all right, well, guess what? Next year you're coming here.
Well, it's even. Absolutely. 100%. Nobody's intimidated anymore. You don't have to win with smoke and mirrors. You don't have to win with now you're playing Alabama with Alabama talent. You know what I mean? Like, you think you've had the best quarterback in the country? That's what, like they were saying, we got Tua. Okay, well, you know what? We got Burrow. you know what I mean? Old boy just running up in there and just hung 40 on your ass.
Check Joe Mo, fellas, check Elias Rick's tweet about the game. He loved it. I've officially shut down my recruitment.
Yes,
we are the best ever. Go Tigers.
Welcome, Elias. Welcome to the winning side. He's in Tuscaloosa tonight. Absolutely.
Next, and Elias, next year you get to do that in Tiger Stadium, bro.
And
you
know
get to
what?
do LSU Bama in Tiger Stadium next year.
Everybody's going to be talking about Elias like they're talking about Derek Stingley because nobody's going to be throwing at Stingley and everybody's going to be throwing at Elias Riggs. And you're going to be the true freshman in the country that everybody's talking about, Elias. Like, welcome to it. This is what LSU provides you. Major promotion, major programming within college football on Saturdays, playing in the biggest game. The LSU's played the biggest game for the last 3 weeks. My buddy on College Game Day said, bro, yeah, we went to North Dakota. Yeah, we went everywhere else. But really, we could have followed LSU on the Florida, Auburn, and Alabama game. I mean, y'all are playing in the 3 biggest games for the last 3 weeks. You know,
bro,
don't think that Orgeron's not selling that.
Somebody just said,
my pods are losing batteries.
My theory, we're about to wrap this up. Alex Gonzalez, Ray Thornton,
great
from the
fumble
doghouse
recovery.
recovering a Tua fumble. Yep.
Absolutely. Good. It was good to see that. It was good to see that.
Yep. And then the other one was, oh, shit. I lost it. Anyway. I lost it. Whatever. All right, bro. Let's wrap this up, bro. I'm going to go. My wife wants to eat dinner. We're going to go eat. We're going to go have a night.
So, E-Rock, what's up? Bro, Tigers just beat Alabama.
Oh, God in heaven, thank you.
I
Thank you,
know.
the shit.
Sports radio is
Thank
going
you,
to be so
God.
I think
Oh, my,
my just died. Later, buddy.
your pod died, too. Yeah, mine's about to go, too. Shout out one more time, bro.
Shout out
Citizens
to my
Bank.
man David Richardson, contractor and realtor. He's a one-stop shop. There's the phone number right there. Give him a call. Whiskey and Wine, brought to you each week by my man D. Rich. He's on this Facebook post. So is our guy Jim Ferguson at Citizens. Tell him about him, Scone.
And so is me. Oh,
Citizens Bank and Trust. Awesome. If you need that business loan, trying to get rolling, they've done some amazing developments in Baton Rouge. The Mid-City Beer Garden, 6 locations around the greater Baton Rouge area, ATMs as well, Citizens Bank and Trust. And they give us awesome coolers and hoppers to give away too during Whiskey and Wine. Y'all check them out. Do business with the people that do business with us, and please like their page. We appreciate them greatly. All right, bro. I cannot believe, dude. I can believe it. But
Tell him go Tigers.
go Tigers.
Tell him go
Go
Tigers.
Tigers. Go Tigers.
go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
See you, buddy.
Go Tigers. Later, bro. See y'all.
Later.
All right. Come on. Okay.
What?
What was that?